Hey there YouTube, I picked up this oil suction pump for my marine application to use on a boat when it comes time to service that or winterize it. Depends on what time of year it is, how many hours I put on it. But today we're going to try and use it for extracting the oil out of my Can-Am Commanders, the side-by-side UTV. And the skid plates make it kind of problematic to get to the drain plugs on the engine and the front and rear differential in the gearbox. So I figured I would give it a try. Use this thing to try and extract the oil from the fill side of it, of the differentials, and through the dipstick tube on the engine, and see how much oil I actually get out, and then go through the whole motion and pull the drain plug and see what how much oil is left in there. See if it's worth the time and effort to try and extract it through those different fill ports. So stay tuned, and let's see how much actually comes out and from the fill ports, and then what we actually get out of the drain port. It may not be worth the effort, but we're going to find out. Alright YouTube, this is a 2-for-1 inside this video here. We're going to try this oil pump out for the first time, and then if you're watching this as a Commander owner, we're going to try and siphon out the oil from this Commander here, and we're going to put it into this jug down here. It's a 2-quart. And we're going to see how much engine oil we can suck out. We know that the Commander calls for about 2 quarts, 2.2, depending on who you talk to, whether you have a filter change or not. So we've got the dipstick out, got our siphon tube here, and run it in far down as we think we can get it. And we've got the suction hose attached here, and the discharge tube here. Let's run it into the bucket. I'm trying to do all this one-handed, so bear with me. And got just a little small 12-volt battery here, and see how it works. And we're pumping. Not bad. A little finessing here, trying to get all we can out. I'm gonna call that good. It's over the 2-quart mark, and I was just a little bit over the full mark on the dipstick. And just for your information, just taken the machine for a ride, got the oil nice and warm, let it sit long enough to get the seat pan and the side covers out on both sides. I'm going to do some service to the CVT and some other things while I'm in here, also to include the differentials. So let's see if we can turn it around a little bit. So here's the 2-quart mark right here, and so what's left in the filter, who knows. So this is my first time trying to do this. I'm going to pull the drain plug and see how much comes out of there. So stay tuned. Alright guys, we got this thing going with the gearbox oil down here. Making a little headway. Sometimes you gotta have to finagle it to get the right angle. And I know why they say for the maker of this pump that they don't really like it to pump gear oil. It's pretty thick, you can hear it. Really putting a load on this pump compared to when I use it to pump out the motor oil. It really loads it up pretty good. Yeah, the motor still a little warmth to it. But I don't feel bad about it if it's cavitating here and there, getting some air bubbles, take the load on and off. about all we're going to get. Hey YouTube, just a final update on the oil pump for removing the oil from your engine, gearbox, and differentials, front and rear. Worked great on the engine. I pulled the plug and got maybe 2 ounces of oil out of the bottom of it, if that. But sometimes it's hard to tell. A little bit of oil looks like a lot. With the gearbox down there, I got literally probably 10-15 drops. Very, very, very little oil came out of that. So I'm comfortable doing that method all the way around for those two. And with the front differential, I know it's dark in there, so we'll just stand here and talk. Got maybe ½ ounce out of it. So for those 3 components, that's the easy way to do it without making a mess, having to worry about dropping the skid plate. You can see there is oil down in there from when I was trying to fill it back up. It's always a tedious process. And you can use that oil transfer pump to refill it as well, but I tend to like to do things like that by hand so I can monitor a little more closely. Less likely to overfill it as well. On the rear differential, back here, I was not able to get the suction hose into the differential just the way the fill port is. It goes in, it kind of makes a weird turn and down. It's kind of built into the case as where the bolts secure the 2 halves together, not necessarily in the side where it can go straight down into where the sump of that gear casing is. So that was a no-go. Still had to get under there, drop the skid, and finagle a way to get some Allen wrenches in there to get those out and fill it back up. So out of all of it, that's the one that's was not working with the oil pump. We know the engine oil is not a bad thing. Get the drain plug. So it's just on my XT model. There's a hole right there. It's not really necessary to get the pump out and do that one. But if you have a toy and you want to use it and play with it, that's a good opportunity to do it. And definitely see it a benefit for the gearbox and the front differential, trying to get in and find those little drain plugs on, especially on the front diff. So, okay guys, I really appreciate your viewership. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends. And as always, thank you for watching.